Welcome back to the Drop Some Knowledge podcast, guys. We're live from Victorian lockdown currently. We're all comfy in our homes, in our rooms, because the government says, no, you cannot go outside and see anybody. So we've adapted to the climate. James, how are you coping in lockdown?
Well, I've got the heater on, so I'm nice and warm, which is great. Look, I'm doing okay with lockdown, as I'm sure we're all feeling the stress
pinch.
of it.
Yeah.
Feeling the pinch, but we're all trying to stay as positive as possible, and hopefully we can bring some positivity into your lives with our podcast.
Yeah, you've got no excuse not to listen now, guys. You've got nothing to do, and I know you've got nothing to do. So if you don't listen to a podcast, I'm going to stop it there before we make people mad. Yeah.
I was going to say, we can't even say we'll come to your house. We can't actually come to your house. So.
I know where you live. Doesn't matter. Irrelevant.
No, it doesn't matter. But we can come to you through audio files.
Through two of your holes.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. That's going to be one of those, is it?
Yeah, it will be. Absolutely.
Before we kick into the episode, we'll start off with a little bit of a social media announcement. We do have the Facebooks, the Instagrams. I think the kids call it IG or the Gram.
Oh, God.
What else do we have? A YouTube channel now as well. We post the podcast on YouTube as well, so people can watch it and get the audio that way. You can watch us be stupid together and look at James's weird facial reactions. And there's also minute or so clips we'll be posting as well on there. So Drop Some Knowledge podcast on all those platforms. You can tell I've never done a social media announcement before. This is my first one. You're only going to see me blossom from here. Poddy is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I'm not sure if anyone listens to podcasts on any other platforms, but it is on Google Play, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio. To be honest, don't really care about those last few. Everyone seems to listen on Spotify and Apple. Unless we get a sponsorship deal from any of those companies, then I love you. But until that cash rolls in, I'm not interested. All right. All right.
Yeah, that's selling it. Absolutely.
Before this goes down a worse path of breaking relationships with potential sponsors, I reckon we kick into this one. Hopefully this is not about animals, James. We've done 3 animal episodes to this point. So
no.
I'm excited. So what I'm going to ask you right now, James, is can you please drop some knowledge?
Absolutely. Here's some knowledge for your ear holes right now. Now, normally we do, So like you've said, normally we've done the animals and things like that. But this time, when I actually do tell you, you have no idea. There's no even little hints.
No, I haven't actually heard what the episode's about yet. This is actually a surprise. So I'm excited. I'm as excited as the listeners right now to find out what the episode's about. But to be fair, the listeners have probably looked at the title to click on the podcast to listen to it. So they actually know before me. Kind of, but not really. You know what I mean?
That's different. See, that's something you don't normally hear. Absolutely. Yes, perfect. Podception. So Josh, here's some knowledge for you.
Okay, I'm excited.
Our solar system is awesome.
Oh,
it's awesome. Okay. Like there are some seriously cool stuff happening in our solar system, and it's only our main planets that we're going to be talking about today. So solar system and our planets is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah.
Now, obviously we start with the big one, which is the sun. Okay.
Yeah, pretty common.
But everybody knows about
People
the sun.
People have heard about that one, yeah. I've heard of it.
They know about that one. They know about it. Yeah. Earth. I'm not going to talk about them. People know about them.
It's been done.
It's been done. It's been done. However, there are some planets that people don't necessarily know that much about. And I'm talking Mercury, I'm talking Venus, I'm talking Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune.
Other people would say otherwise about Uranus.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Don't
Maybe for an after dark episode of Drop Some Knowledge podcast.
Oh my God, I'm so ready for those.
Maybe we'll start an OnlyFans.
Hey, we could.
No explicit content anymore, though.
No, we can't. I was just going to say we could do like slightly shirtless with the bedspread just like up here.
The nipples cut out.
And the pillows behind. Yeah, just cut out a little bit.
Yeah. I like
So planets.
Yeah.
So planets. We're going to start off with our lovely. We're going to start with our lovely little one, Mercury. Okay, so
yes.
Mercury is, if you know
I think
about
that's the forgotten planet.
planets,
like October is always the forgotten month, kind of. You know, when people, did you get this? Because I remember in high school when we used to say the planet, the months, people would always forget October. And that was always the one.
Yeah.
I apologize to anyone born in October. I don't think you're irrelevant, but a lot of people seem to. Oh, they did in high school. But yeah.
No.
I don't know if you
totally
found that,
follow you. Oh, no, I totally follow where you're coming from. And I agree. Mercury is one of those ones that does get forgotten about.
Yeah.
Now, Mercury, you know about the solar system. You know where the planets kind of align?
Roughly.
Okay, so I will be going from closest to the furthest to the sun. So you've got Mercury first. Okay. So I don't know if you know this one, Josh, but a year on Mercury is 88 days long.
What?
Now so the rotation of Mercury, right, is 88 days long. So one solar day, so the amount of times it goes around the sun,
around the sun,
is about 176 days on Earth.
And because it's so close to the sun and it just goes around so much faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
See?
Yeah, okay. No, you've really come with the goods today, James.
No,
so
mate,
just repeat, how many days was it again?
Excited.
How many days?
88 days long is a year.
88 days. 88 days.
Crazy.
Is a year.
It's crazy. Okay. What the hell am I supposed to do in 88 days? And then just be like, happy birthday.
Around the world in 88 days? Around the Mercury in 88 days.
There you go, man.
With Phileas Fogg. That sounds like something you would say. I feel like we're swapping roles now because now I sound
we're
like
definitely
the nerdy
swapping
one.
now. There will be, I swear there will be like an Easter egg where you do one of these episodes. Like there will be an Easter egg somewhere. I'm sure of it. I'm sure
we'll find it one day.
It's there.
Yeah.
One day. It's about basketball or something. I don't know.
That's not my entire life. What are you talking about?
No,
I'm not surface level.
I am. He says while there's a Michael Jordan in the background.
Oh, is that who it is? Chilling. I didn't know.
Oh.
He's the goat.
He's the goat. Well, yeah. Absolutely. Next little thing that you may or may not know, Josh.
Okay.
Maybe most people don't know this one. And it's probably one of, it's a really cool little fact that Mercury is actually one of the most cratered planets in our solar system.
A lot of dents.
One of our most cratered planets. Well, there's a lot. Yeah, there is a lot of, as you know, we've got between, I believe it's Mars and Jupiter, there is a asteroid belt that is basically just floating around. Now, a lot of those asteroids do obviously get dislodged, but obviously just random space debris as it goes around does junk. Pulled in. Space junk gets pulled in by the amount of ridiculous force that comes from.
Could be like a bit of rock broken away, or like maybe a bit of a spacecraft has come off, or like Apollo 13 pilot's dead body ran into the planet, or
absolutely
just the normal
things
stuff
like that all the time. Standard.
It's every day.
Standard.
Well, not because it's only 88 of them, but
Well, that's right. Yeah. But Mercury has a lot of craters on it because it doesn't have the amount of geological processes and terraforming to self-heal like most other planets do. And that's because it's so close to the sun, because of its gravitational pull and everything like that. It actually inhibits it from doing what most other planets do. So for instance,
it's like a big
Earth,
golf ball, right?
Yes, perfect analogy. I was going to say strawberry.
Mine's better. Mine's absolutely better.
Yours is definitely better.
And to be fair, I can relate it because my car currently looks like a golf ball, because about 2 years ago, the big hailstorm and my car was outside, and my insurance does not cover that. So guess what? I'm not paying however many thousands it's going to be to re-detail my car.
That's too many thousands, too many.
Yeah, and some say my car is more aerodynamic now because of the little divots, Don't ask me why. I'm not going to tell you. But I'm just going to say it is.
Oh, it's definitely possible that it makes it move so much faster.
Yeah, it's a Subaru, bro. It goes fast already, all right?
The Boopsaroo.
Yeah.
I'm mad at myself for doing that. I'm so mad at myself.
Well, we've got it recorded now, so you can never take it back.
Well, that's it. So we're going back to planets.
Correct.
I'm bringing us back. I'm bringing us the gravitational pull that's bringing us back.
Interesting.
Now, having said all this, right, with the amount of craters that this planet has, most of these craters are hundreds of kilometers wide. Like, and a little bit of a little side tidbit of knowledge, Josh.
Okay.
Some of these craters are more than 250 kilometers wide, and those that are 250 kilometers or more are actually.
I'm just trying to get it in my head. Yeah, I'm just trying to get it in my head how wide kilometers. That is. Oh.
Yeah, so it's 250 kilometers. I'm trying to think of what
how
distance
wide's
that
Australia?
would be. A lot more than that, man.
Oh, you reckon? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I'm just thinking, like, okay, what can we put it into perspective
okay,
of?
well, what's 250 kilometers away from, like, Melbourne?
Should we do a little bit of
I don't know. I'm trying to think of. I think we should do a little quick of a research. Yeah. So while you're doing that, I'll tell you a little bit more. So 250 kilometers or more, craters are classified as basins. Okay.
Okay.
Now, the largest basin on Mercury is actually called the and let me see if I can pronounce this correctly, the Caloris Basin, and it's 1,550 kilometers in diameter. 1,550 kilometers in diameter.
When does a hole not become a hole? Like, it's too big to be called just a divot, or like a hole, or a small crater. Like, what is there a size limit on a crater? Because it's got to become a point where you're just like, it's just how it is. Is it even a dent or a divot when it's that wide, or is it just what it is?
It's a circular mountain range by then. You know what I mean? Like, but like, that's what I was saying. 250 kilometers or more is referred to as a basin. So, like I said, this Caloris Basin is 1,550 kilometers in diameter. So we're looking at 250 kilometers from Melbourne. What do we got?
Yeah. So the closest thing I could find, I'm trying to find something that people might know. Oh, hang on. Okay. Maybe a Chuka. Give me a second.
Okay.
Echuca is 247 kilometers away.
So let's say to Echuca, from Melbourne to Echuca is 247. So 1,550 kilometers away from
100.
Like, we drove to it's like going to Adelaide.
Yeah, I'll search up Adelaide.
Because I'm pretty sure Adelaide's about 1,600.
No,
I have been wrong. It's not
even half.
Oh, what?
It's 738 kilometers away.
Oh my God. Okay, so it's like.
So we might be talking like Brisbane.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hang on.
I'm curious. This is crazy. I'm so curious now. Yeah. What's the distance? People don't realize how big Australia actually is.
Yeah, Australia's ridiculously big. Brisbane's a little bit further, but we're close. I'm looking at the Gold Coast right now.
Okay, so Melbourne to the Gold Coast.
No, we're not quite there. So the Gold Coast is 1,700 kilometers away. The only thing I could do, I'm just looking on the map here, Coffs Harbour, New South Wales, which is far northeast, New South Wales.
Okay.
So it's somewhere between the Gold Coast and Coffs Harbour. Actually,
that's how big the crater is.
You know what? This has gone on for long enough, and it's getting a bit boring. So we're going to move on from this. But I think Byron Bay might be pretty close to 1,500 kilometers.
So that's huge. That's
Byron Bay is 1,622 kilometers away.
Stupid. That's a huge hole.
That's not a hole, James. That's what I'm saying. It's not a hole. It's too big to be a hole. It's just how it is. It's like saying at Melbourne to Byron Bay, it's a mountain because the Earth's curved. It's not. Yeah. It's that big. It's not curved anymore.
It is.
You know, I'm not a flat earther, and I'm not saying that the Earth is flat. Please don't get that misconstrued. But yeah, that's big.
There you go, man. No, it's huge. It's huge. So, having said that, Now, we're talking about mountain ranges and how, these massive formations from craters and things are basically mountain ranges, right? Here's my favorite thing about Mercury, and we'll keep that in mind, okay? Did you know Mercury has wrinkles? Yeah,
which is unlike which is unlike a koala brain, from what I've learned.
See, yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
So are you trying to tell me that Mercury is the smartest planet, James?
Look, it very well could be, because the way that Mercury has wrinkles is it actually has an iron core. Okay, so the inside of Mercury, there's an iron core. And
you're just plotting me the next Marvel movie.
Yeah, okay. The Iron Core. It's a new superhero.
Yeah.
So the iron core of the planet has cooled and contracted over time. Because it is so close to the sun, obviously it heats up and cools down. But over time, it's contracted so much that the surface of the planet actually becomes wrinkled. So everything is kind of contracting and moving up over the top of itself.
Oh.
And some of these wrinkles can actually be 160 kilometers high and hundreds of kilometers long. That's
not a wrinkle, James.
It's a mountain range.
Not a wrinkle. It's a mountain range. This is what I'm saying. The planets are cooked, mate. Like, it's not, they're saying you got wrinkles and divots. That's not a divot. That's not a wrinkle. I'm imagining in my head, it's like the world's most extreme. You know when the motocross riders ride across those bumps really fast?
It's basically what you're thinking about.
Yeah. I'm so excited for like Travis Pastrana to go and do that next, sponsored by Red Bull or something like that.
Goes to Mercury.
Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So we're jumping into the next one. Next one, which is the closest is Venus. So Venus is the next one after Mercury. Okay. Now, Venus is actually the hottest planet in our solar system.
I was about to say that Venus sounds like a bad stripper name, so you might be onto something there.
Well, men are from Mars. Women are from Venus.
Is that a fact?
And apparently, and also the fact is that their average surface temperature is 460 degrees Celsius. Average. On Venus.
Okay.
460 degrees.
60 degrees.
Yeah, Celsius.
So there's no aliens living there.
No, I don't think so, because the way that actually works is their atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide.
Need to plant some trees.
So mostly carbon dioxide. So it's pretty much just greenhouse gases. And because it's so dense, the heat comes in and cannot escape the atmosphere. Okay.
So what if you went to Venus, James? What would be the first thing you would do when you get there? Because if you want me to give you an outline of what I think you might do, you'd go straight to Venus. Well, if that wasn't an option, and for comedic purpose, let's not go that dark.
It's true.
I could imagine you, if I'm cruising past Venus in my TIE fighter one day or something like that, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And I'm leaning back, having a cruise. Look out the window. Oh, looks like James has stopped on Venus, right? Which I assume is exactly the same as Tatooine. You just have the spit out, mate, with the meat on a rack, and you're just turning it slowly, mate. You're just turning it slowly.
And you know what? I would be cooking it. Yeah. I would be cooking it on one of its many thousands of volcanoes that Venus has actually.
That might be the hot sauce for the HSP.
And it's definitely the hot sauce, but I would also have the spit going directly across one of the volcanoes, because that'd be about 20 kilometers long.
That's a lot of meat.
So that is several volcanoes. So there's thousands upon thousands of volcanoes on Venus. And some of these volcanoes have the volcanic center, all right, is about 20 kilometers long for some of them.
Yeah, planets are just big, aren't they? Like, it's just all big stuff,
Yeah, huge. Like,
that's crazy.
We're talking, we're talking.
It's so hard to fathom as well. Like, even just sitting here and trying to think about, that'd be long. Like, you don't know. Like, it's long.
It's long.
You wouldn't even be able to see the opposite side.
No. So, and going back to what with Mercury being 88 days long for a year, this is the biggest. This is how big the jump is and how close in proximity they are to the sun. But a year on Venus is actually 225 days long.
Because it's
so from 88 days, correct. So from 88 days to 225, correct.
Interesting.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Now we're gonna bypass Earth because we know enough about it. Let's be honest.
Whatever. It's cooked at the moment anyway. COVID's all over the place. We don't want to know about that.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. We've done with that. But Mars. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Mars because Mars is also one of those ones that we've know a decent amount of. However, Mars actually has the tallest mountain in our solar system. Do you know what it's called? Have you heard of this before?
No. I'm trying to think of another name. Instantly my brain went Mount Vesuvius. I know it's not. But I also just get a really quick brain flashback of a movie. A little side note here, James. We've all seen School of Rock with Jack Black, right?
Yes.
Have you seen the movie The Rocker?
I don't think I have.
It's got Emma Stone and whoever plays Dwight Schrute from The Office as the lead role.
Oh, yeah. I forget his name, but yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like a ripoff of School of Rock, except it is hilarious. And the band that he gets kicked out of at the start is called Vesuvius. And
okay.
Yeah, just thought I'd share that little bit of information because I love that movie. It's so funny.
Okay, I'll have to watch it sometime.
One to watch. You, like I said, you're in lockdown, mate. You got no excuse. Watch
I'll write it down.
I was going to say I'll slap you, but I won't because I will get arrested or fined.
Yeah, there is that. But no, it's not Vesuvius. It's how is hitting me worth? No, I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to
Don't go into that, James.
No, it's too easy. But Olympus Mons.
Oh my, that is cool. That is cool.
Olympus Mons.
That's sick. Who named it that?
I need to look that one up. That one I don't have. However, it is. I can tell you how big this thing is. It's now. It doesn't sound much. It's 21 kilometers high. 21 kilometers high, but it's 600 kilometers in diameter.
When does it not become a mountain anymore?
And then
James?
just
what the
comes out.
Like.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
It just looks like
how
a
tall is Mount Everest as a comparison?
In kilometers, that's a good question.
Because I'm just trying to think. I think the best way to look at this sort of stuff is to get a gauge of something. We like. Obviously, I'm not going to just know how tall Mount Everest is, but if we can get a gauge of our mountains compared to theirs, I think maybe the people might click in their head a little bit more about exactly how big we're talking.
All right. Well, Mount Everest. Okay, so you want to know how big? Okay, so we're talking 21 kilometers high. Okay.
For
Mount Everest is for the one on Mars. Mount Everest is only 8.8.
Oh, okay. So that puts it in perspective way better for me. Yeah, way better.
Yeah.
Wow.
8.8.
Because that underwhelms me, James, because you've seen all of the things about Mount Everest. And look, I'm not taking away from how dangerous it is because that is high. But if they talk about a mountain being that high and then you don't even crack double digits, come on, give it a wash. I'm not interested.
Give it a rest. No, exactly. So 21 kilometers high and
that's made it way more impressive wide. For me.
Yeah, it's massive. That's massive. And it's almost as wide as from here to Adelaide.
Yeah.
Because we stated that Adelaide was about 700 odd Ks. It's huge, massive. So
that'd be just called a continent when it's on Earth.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what's also cool is it could still be active.
Oh.
We're not 100% sure, but it still could be active, which I think is fascinating. Now, another thing that you may or may not know is lasting for probably months at a time and being, in this instance, global, right? Mars has some of the largest dust storms in the solar system. I have heard about because they're global. It goes throughout the whole planet. which is insane. And what's funny is these dust storms are global because Mars is actually oval shaped. It's not perfectly
unbelievable. The real inspiration. So a Sharon
circular.
is based off Mars. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Well, it's red.
It is.
It's
That's
red.
exactly what I'm thinking.
There it is.
An oval shape. Why are all the planets round and that one's oval though?
I believe it's because of the way that it spins. It could be. We do not know what's out there, man.
Yeah.
We do not know what's out there. But I think Instagram would love Mars. I think Instagram models would love Mars.
Oh.
Because the sunsets on Mars are actually blue.
Oh. And then in winter, you could just post all the pics saying, "Take me back," you know?
Yep, that's it. And which means that during the day, Mars's skies are actually pinkish red.
Oh my, that's likes. That is likes.
Right? And because of this, like this is what you would see, but it's because the atmosphere is quite the opposite of Earth. So there is a lot of differences there.
I would want to ask for the ladies on the gram would be how would doggos and plants go on Mars?
That's true, actually. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
I believe that the gravity on Mars is as close as we can get to Earth's, but I believe it's still lighter. So they'll be trotting along and kind of floating at the same time, which is kind of fun.
Look, it'd pull in the likes, I reckon. It'd pull in the likes. Maybe it's just a quick trip out. They can get a sponsor from Booty Bands or something. Quick sponsor out. Yep. Flying out on the jet, get a couple of pics in the sunset. Take me back, yas. Come back to the doggo. It's all good. Take it to the cafe and get one of the doggachinos and all that other stuff that
exactly.
I respect. All that sort of stuff.
Now, this one is probably my favorite one because you probably don't. I don't think most people know this little tidbit of information. But did you know that Mars will eventually have rings of its own?
Eventually have rings of its own.
Eventually have rings of its own. And I'm talking long time. I mean, long time.
Okay.
It will take about 20 to 40 million years. But eventually Mars's largest moon, which is Phobos, and Phobos is actually slowly being torn apart by Mars's gravitational.
This is a Marvel movie, James. I could see Iron Core defeating Thabos or whatever you just said in the final battle.
Phobos.
I was close. I was closer than I thought I was.
But because of the gravitational pull, it's slowly being torn apart towards Mars, and it will create this ring, and the ring is said to last, because of its pull and because of the spin of Mars, it would last around 100 million years.
Oh, that's
before either falling to Mars or being drifted apart.
So what you're trying to tell me is I'm never going to get to see this happen.
Unfortunately not. Not unless Doctor Who turns up and says, "Hey, I'll take you."
Yeah, or unless they find a way to make those heads in the jars actually a real thing.
Hey, Futurama reference, love it.
Correct. Give me your best fact now, James, because I think we've been going for 20 odd minutes already.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
How about I give you one? How about I give you one? One more fact for each one of the planets. So I've got Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
Give me your best.
All right. So Jupiter actually has had a massive storm that we all know about, the big red spot, or the Great Red Spot. It's actually, as we know, it's a massive storm, but it's actually been raging for about 350 years. And it's so big, it can hold up to 3 Earths within it. So think about the size of Earth. It can hold 3 of them inside it.
As the size of Jupiter.
Yeah, the size of Jupiter. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Now,
that's a lot.
Which I think is incredible. Now, the next one is Saturn. Now, Saturn, we obviously know about its rings, and its rings are amazing and beautiful, and they can actually be seen with the naked eye, which is amazing. But did you know that they actually sit? So they're actually from the atmosphere away from the planet. They are 120,000 kilometers away from the planet.
The rings are that far away from
the rings, that far away from the planet before you get to the first ring that's closest to the planet.
Wow, that's
here's the big
cool.
one. Here's the big one, though. Yeah,
okay,
it's pretty cool. But here's the big one: the rings are only 20 meters thick.
This is crazy stuff.
They're only 20 meters thick.
The whole time in this party, we've been talking thousands, hundreds of thousands of kilometers. Massive, so 20 meters thick, wide, but they're 120 kilometers away from the planet's surface. And you can see them from Earth.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's nuts.
That's cool. Actually, I liked that way. Yeah, that's okay.
They're so densely packed that they're just incredible.
Thick.
Uranus.
What? We're always going to make this joke. If anyone's listening to this and doesn't expect this to happen, you're a goddamn fool.
So I'm kind of going to do this one. You know what's hilarious about Uranus? That it actually spins the opposite way to Earth.
Oh.
Yeah. That one sink in for a little bit.
What if it bumps into something one day and Uranus is everywhere?
Well, Uranus explodes. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Craps itself.
Yeah. It's all that kebab meat you've been doing on over the volcanoes, mate.
I mean, look.
Go straight through
when you have a planet that's atmosphere is made up of basically just methane, who knows
it's
what?
It's a recipe for disaster.
It's a recipe for disaster.
So some would say the same for
Neptune
HSP.
Is another one. Oh God, yeah, absolutely. Neptune.
So glorious.
Neptune is another one, which is fantastic. Now, Neptune has storms that travel at about 600 meters per second. Its largest storm, it's huge. Its largest storm that we knew about was called the Great Dark Spot, very similar to
I've heard about
Jupiter.
This, yeah.
Yeah. Now, it only lasted, weirdly enough, 5 years, and now it's gone. However, Neptune does have many, many different storms that rage on its planet, on its surface. But it was only discovered, the Great Dark Spot was only discovered in 1989 by the Voyager 2 craft.
Oh.
So I thought that was kind of funky.
Okay.
And a real quick one, methane actually absorbs red light, which makes the planet have that very light blue color. So that's why we see it quite light and blue.
So next time we go for HSPs and there's a red glow around your pants, I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, it's because the methane isn't being, absorbing enough of that red light.
Absolutely.
From the open sign, from the...
That's some dense red light, man.
That's some dense red light. Now... I'm not ending there. I have one more because I know there's going to be haters out there. I know there's going to be people out there. Why aren't you talking about Pluto? Pluto's a planet. Blah, 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 blah. Pluto is a planet, but it is a dwarf. It is a dwarf planet. Okay, there's a dwarf planet.
James, I believe it's called a little people planet. That's what they like.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not leaving it out, dagnammit.
Isn't it? And this is just a really quick opinion. And whatever people who are like that would like to be called, I will call you that. But isn't little people worse than being called like a dwarf or midget?
Probably.
Because I don't think that isn't it? I don't know. I just know if I wouldn't like being called a little person, that doesn't seem great. But look, I mean, that's another debate for another time, James.
I'm a nerd, Josh. I love Lord of the Rings. I play Dungeons and Dragons.
You can't call them hobbits, dwarves. James. No, you can't call them hobbits.
Dwarves. No. Dwarves are a strong.
It doesn't matter how hairy their feet are, mate. You can't do that. Your feet might be hairy, but it's because you're Greek.
Yeah, that's different. I'm also reasonably short.
Different, all
right? It's different, okay. But we are going to talk about Pluto for the last part because I don't want to leave it out. I love Pluto. It's the second largest dwarf planet in our solar system. The largest is Eris, but that's only because there's a 12-kilometer difference in their size.
Which for planets is small.
Which is very, very small. And Pluto was discovered in 1930 by the Lowell Observatory. Sorry.
Hang on, did you just say the LOL?
The Lowell.
Oh, this is the Lowell Observatory. I was like, well, you can't take that very seriously. They're not credible, are they?
The Lowell Observatory in 1930. So now 1930. So it's about, say, in 76 years between the time that it was discovered and the time that it was then reclassified as being a dwarf planet. Pluto orbited the sun 3 times in 76 years.
And that's how slow their years would be because they're so far away.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. Imagine living
Isn't
there.
It nuts?
You'd be like, I can drink now, Dad. I'm 6. You know?
Yeah. Now, don't forget, like, we're talking 88 days from Mercury. Saturn is 30 years. It orbits the sun. And now you're looking at like 76 plus years for Pluto to orbit. Yeah, it does it 3 times. And it does it 3 times.
You'd be alive for like 2 weeks and you can legally drink on Pluto.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Move to Pluto.
Unbelievable. Doing? If you want to get on the source early on, move to Pluto. Yeah. By the time you get there, I mean, you'll be old and decrepit, but, give it a crack. That's what us Aussies are about.
Absolutely.
Some Australian will do it. They'll go on their little esky where they put like the little motor eskies they make and they'll fly over to Pluto.
I had a mate that did that, let's be honest. But yeah, that's how amazing our solar system is.
I mean, the main key differences I learned was you can cook a HSP on Venus, was it, James?
Yes, you can.
You can cook a HSP on Venus. My car looks like a golf ball, and an Australian man will fly to Pluto so he can sink beers when he's 2 weeks old. And that's what I've learned from the episode today.
You're very welcome. You are very
welcome. Our planet is our solar system and our planets are amazing. Clearly, with that knowledge now.
Yeah. That's it. And it's amazing. There are so many things that I found. These are the ones that I really thought that people would enjoy. It's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah, crazy. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that, James. We're going to duck off now and go and do nothing because we're in isolation. And
I think I might eat dinner.
Yeah. Who knows? Do you find you're eating dinner at weird times? You're like, oh, I'm getting hungry. It's 10:30 at night. Interesting. Your body clock's all
off. God, it's so off. It's ridiculous. Because you normally go to your parents' place, or you'll go to your friend's house, or you'll go out for dinner with people, or whatever the case may be, and you try to work your time around that. I don't know what time is now. How long is a year?
Time is nothing but a construct, James.
Oh God, lunchtime doubly so.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, look, we're going to leave it at that, and I will see you in the next episode, guys. But don't forget, HSPs that come from Venus are the best HSPs.
Absolutely, and they're 20 kilometers long.
Exactly. Oh, that's not the family HSP, the Venus HSP. No. That's the one you got to look for down at Lamont Chapel.
That's the one. Absolutely.
We'll ask him about it next time, or we'll ask Nev down at PizzaCom.
Oh God, yeah, he'd love that.
Anyway, PizzaCom might be its whole other episode, but you know what? We're rambling.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening again, guys. Remember, HSPs from Venus are the best, and we'll see you in the next episode.
No worries, guys. Catch you later.
Bye-bye.